10, and then honey. Honey is 5. We've got box is 0. You know what, £5? I think I'm gonna go take a walk. All this tax stuff, there's just too many numbers. Hi Bill. Hi Penny. Hello everybody, my name is APuzzledSlime and welcome back to another episode from the HomeSMP. In the previous episode, we decided to set up some community funds by raising money through taxes on the shopping district. We also had a quick brush with death when we went under the knife with Happy and Raven to investigate the seed taking route, causing me to have quite the peculiar vision. But in today's episode, we're going to go check back in with our taxes and set up a chest so people can come and claim the server funds if they need. We're also going to be working on my island, making some new additions, and finally upgrading my storage. So let's go see if anybody has actually submitted their taxes. Okay, so they deposit them in this chest. So if we just break through the wall and we come down here, let's have a look and see what we've got. Oh my god, okay, we've got quite a few things. Oh, Happy's done his taxes. Heiken's done her taxes, and Happy has also done his taxes. I may have forgotten to do my taxes. Let me go do that real quick. Okay, here we go. We got my shulker box of home coins, and how much did I owe? 5, 15, 15. However, 15 is... it's not going to leave me much, is it? You know what? I might just... I think it's a little bit steep. Let me just... There we go. Much better. Okay, right. I can do that, I think. I think that's a lot better. Okay, so I will submit these, and that will be my 2 months tax. So if we just take this and head up, and let's start working on a place where people can come and collect the server funds if they need. Okay, so what I'm thinking is maybe just kind of knocking through this wall, and maybe just putting the chest there. Would do something like that. You'd still be able to open it. Okay, and then if we just dye them, make them glow, put a little bit of honey on them. Perfect, you've got the server funds. Replace your heads with the coins if you need them. I've distributed them into 10. I do have 2 left over, but I'm going to put them back into the system so that when we get our next taxes, we can add them all up and people can come and get their money. You know what? I might move these down here and make them a little bit prettier. There we go. Perfect. That's one job ticked off. So before we continue with the episode, I really need to address something. Between episodes, we lost a treasured member of our island community. Poor little Tumbleweed was struck down in his prime by a bloodthirsty ocelot. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even realize ocelots could spawn on this island. I unfortunately got the news over Discord. I wasn't even there to hold his wing as he said goodbye. It's just he was taken so young, so much life ahead of him. But what I want to do is I want to just create him a little bit of a grave here. Here we go. Tumbleweed Jr., you will be missed. I'm not gonna break the news to Raven. If you remember back a couple of episodes to when I got sued, I said that the reason I hadn't lit up my base was because of canonical reasons.
No.
Then why are you going to light up your base?
For canonical reasons.
Which isn't technically wrong, but also not 100% correct. Ever since coming up with the idea for my base, I want to make it feel more immersive and incorporate some smart redstone to make the plants on the island come alive and actually interact with me. In order to do this though, I want to take some inspiration from the real world. So, welcome to Plants 101 with Professor Slime. Today we're diving into the essentials of plant survival, both in the wild and of course in Minecraft. Plants need 3 core elements to thrive: hydration, nourishment, and light. First up, hydration. Just like IRL, hydration is key, but moderation is crucial. Overwater a plant and its soil will flood, causing the plant to drown and eventually rot. In my base, I want to simulate this using cauldrons. If you didn't know, cauldrons will slowly fill up with water whenever it rains, and you can use a comparator to read how full the cauldrons are. In order to bring my base to life, if the cauldrons become too full, then it will flood the soil on my island and cut the power to my lights. Hey! My plan is to light up my island using redstone lamps so that it can be toggled on and off based on how high the cauldron's water level is. I'll have to keep on top of the maintenance of my base by removing water layers using glass bottles, ensuring my base doesn't flood, and therefore causing mobs to spawn. Can't believe it's taken me almost 10 months to light up my base, but anyway. Second, nourishment. In real life, plants absorb minerals and nutrients from the soil. But here in Minecraft, we will compost our way to success, turning leftover organics into bone meal to feed the plants on our island. However, if the bone meal stores get too low, then the plants will grow hungry and angry, then begin to harm whoever gets too close. In order to make this work, I will have to manually top up a chest with bone meal using a composter. At the end of each Minecraft day, a daylight sensor will unlock a hopper, removing a random amount of bone meal. If all the bone meal reserves have been used up, then a series of dispenser stations with stalk sensors around my island will become active and throw instant damage and poison potions at whoever gets too close. And lastly, sunlight. Plants in real life use photosynthesis to convert sunlight into energy. In Minecraft, we rely on the daylight cycle, because no light is no life. Therefore, if we experience too much night, then our plants won't grow, will become weak. If the night grows too long, a daylight sensor will trigger, switching off all the beacon effects, making us just as weak as the plants. So there we have it. Remember to feed them, water them, and let the sunlight keep those monstrous plants at bay. A happy leaf is a stress relief. Okay, so in order to get that started, I think I am going to do the hydration first, which means that I'm going to need quite a few more redstone lamps. So we're just going to pop over to Happy's redstone. Wait, wasn't there a shop here? Wait, am I making this up? Anyway, I guess I'll ask around about that. What? Okay, right, redstone lamps. Oh, okay. I mean, I do have home coins. However, why use my home coins when I know there's a pool of home coins just laying around at the bank? Okay, so I got a few stacks of redstone lamps, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my island up into 3 sections. If we just hop up into kind of cheaty free camp a little bit, I think I might have this section with one cauldron, this back portion with another, and then maybe this front a bit over here with another one. Okay, so what I think we need to do is if we turn on our light overlay with a mini hood, we will be able to see what is spawnable and what isn't. So stuff with the red 0 means that's light level 0 versus what's not. So it would take away this glow lichen and you can see that it is spawnable over here. Okay, I have also just gone ahead and grabbed a bunch of levers. So what I think we need to start doing is just start putting them in the ground. We'll do this, and then that will show us our range for lighting up. So we'll do another one here. Okay, so that is this first side sorted. Obviously, this does not include all of the plants and the foliage and things like that. I think I'm going to have to go through with glow lichen on top of all of these. Otherwise, it's I'm not going to be able to run redstone all the way up here. But now we need to figure out where to put the cauldron and how to set this up. I haven't really thought about this much. We may need like a little station or something. Okay, so the redstone to this should be pretty simple. So as long as the cauldron is open to air, it will always fill up. We can then read that from there. Should go into a block with a torch like so, which will then lead into the lamp to keep it on. So we just need to invert the signal so that when this is empty, this is on. However, when this is full, it is off. We do then need to counter it so that only when it's full will it turn on. So as we can see that it is currently on. We take one out, it is still not technically as full as this, and that's what this comparator signal is doing. And only when there is enough rain and it fills up all the way will the lighting turn off. So we've got to do something like this and hide this into something. Okay, so what I decided to end up doing was just to kind of cover up all of the cauldron bits in a rock with just the main cauldron sticking out so that I'm able to actually empty it. Probably will do another pass over and bring in a little bit more of the texturing. As you can see over here, we've got some tuff and some pressure plates and things. But for right now, I want to see if the premise works and we can hook up the redstone. So if we just kind of tunnel underneath. Okay, here's our first one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a line from the torch all the way around. If I put a block there with that and that and that, and then if we get out, so now it is on. If we turn on mini HUD, you can see that we have a lot of light levels. If we turn it off, we start to get some spawning rates. Now this will be a lot more dramatic once all of the lights in the surrounding area will be turned off. So it will become quite deadly in this area. The plan will be just to cover them up with moss carpets, maybe some brown carpets. As you can see, I've got little areas that allow me to hide the lights a little bit better. So yeah, now I guess we need to do this whole thing and hook up our island. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Okay, and there we have it. We have all three cauldrons set up. We have the one over here that is already being filled up because it is constantly raining on this server. We then have another one over here just behind the matchstick box. It's here, which I have had to open up to the sky. As you can see, it's getting pretty full, so I probably should come around with some water bottles and actually empty these. And the final one is all the way over here past the mushrooms in this rock over here that is still open to sunlight so that it can get rain and everything is hooked up. So this one is hooked up over here. As you can see, I have gone ahead and covered them all up with carpets. So this one covers this section. You come all the way around here. I've actually forgotten a couple, so I need to come back and fix that. And you can see that is all lit up around here, and then over this side was done before. turn on all the light levels, you'll see that everything is now not spawnable, including all of the foliage. So yeah, I'm super happy. I'm going to be so excited not to have mobs spawning anymore and blowing up my stuff. So yeah. Okay, so before I show off the next system, which will be the nutrition system, I actually want to just pop back to the shopping district to investigate that missing shop. Okay, here it was. Yeah, there definitely was a shop here. What was it? Was it wool? Where would it go? Are there any other missing shops? I mean, mine's still there, thank God. So it's not been stolen. The mangrove, the sand, gold. What's this? Cobbled deep slate has moved to the bartering bazaar. What's the bartering bazaar? Okay, well, if I remember correctly, cobbled deep slate was Raven's shop. So let's go see if she's home so I can have a word with her. Okay, Raven? Are you home? Hello? What is that? It's the bartering bazaar. It's here. Let's go have a look. Got some vans. Join us? Is that me? I mean, I'd recognize that handsome face with the mustache and eyebrows anywhere. What is this place? I think I need to do some investigating, but if I'm not allowed in, I might have to come up with a disguise. They're never gonna know it's me. How would they know? How would they know? Right, okay, let's go find someone.
Yeah, I'm of course. I need my wool. Why did you move it all over here?
Hello?
Well, we're doing a thing. Sorry, this is a business talk.
Sorry. I'll go look over here. Oh wow, look, a bus. Don't think they knew it was me. It's fine. It's fine.
Raven and I got screwed with the taxes, so maybe you just need to have a look at like how other people are doing.
I think that's just. Sorry, sir.
Oh, hi. Yes. I'm here for a grand tour of this fabulous bazaar.
I'll leave you to that. I have more things to say. You'll hear from me soon.
Yeah, well, we'll talk again at some point.
Yes,
Sure.
yes. It was lovely to meet you, stranger.
Sorry, who? I think I know most people of the server. Who are you?
Oh yes, I'm new here. I'm a long distant cousin of that. You know, you might have heard of him. That puzzled slime guy. Oh, what a weirdo,
yeah.
right? Oh god, we had such a family feud. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As you can see, we have a strict no slime policy here.
Yes. Don't worry, we have that at our house as well. He's not allowed at family gatherings anymore.
Let me actually quickly ask Raven. She built this whole thing. She can talk to you a lot more about all the bits and bobs it has and everything. Hi,
hello.
On the server. Did you know that?
Oh my gosh! Hi.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, welcome.
Nice to meet you. I'm distantly related to that slime guy. I'm his uncle. Distant uncle. We've had lots of disagreements.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you look a little bit familiar.
Huh?
When you open a place at the bazaar, you get cookies.
Okay.
I'll just sneak into here.
I'm just going to give this a read. Most importantly, see the bottom red in bold, no slimes. Yeah, I so agree with that.
Exactly. You can see we actually have it on the sign as a big.
Oh yeah, we have it 2 times actually.
Oh yes, yeah, double.
Just to really make it clear.
The bartering bazaar itself over here. We have for now 2 little stands. But we're hoping to get a lot more people coming here soon. Something you want to trade or barter, you can place this thing here, and if someone sees it and like, hey, I want that, they can contact you to try and trade something.
Okay, so strictly none of the home coins, nothing to do with the bank. You're actually really kind of going behind the bank's back right now.
we're more of a community than there's no businesses happening here. It's just a community of people who want to trade goods back and forth. So there's no monetary value, no money passing hands.
See, I can see why you're doing this. You know, growing up as Slime's mother, you know, it'd always come in and steal all of my storage room and all of the bits, and it was terrible raising him, and just a distant mother, you know, had to disown him. Yeah. What's this over here?
Wasn't he a cousin or something?
Interesting.
I said an uncle. What's your relation to Slime again?
Brother.
Brother.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh,
What did?
Wait.
God, people on this server must have hard of hearing, I guess.
I'm getting a few.
I don't remember whitelisting anybody new on the server.
Who let you on the server?
Wait, who are you?
I told you. I'm the cousin brother mother of a puzzled slime.
Wait. Stand still. Look at me. Slime, is that you?
No. Run! I've been fooled! Oh my god, a stupid place anyway. I didn't want to. They're still shooting arrows. Okay, run!
Damn it, I really thought my disguise would work. I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe they're going behind the bank's back. All because they don't want to pay taxes? Ugh. Taxes are good. I'm trying to help the server. This is... Ugh. Oh, this... infuriating. I've got to get them back. How can I get them back? I think I have a plan. Wow. Can you believe it? The bartering bazaar is going behind the bank's back, and therefore I've got to come up with a plan to get them back. I distinctly remember seeing Happy there having a maybe heated conversation with Slump, so maybe we need to have a conversation with him and recruit some help. But that'll have to wait till next episode. Moving on, I need to show you the nutrition system that I have set up for the island, and it is right over here. Incredible, right? No, this isn't it. This isn't everything. It's actually all underground. So if we hop on down, you can see the system and the redstone all here. So what I've been able to do is actually do something really smart with this daylight sensor. So all of the blocks directly above it are actually see-through blocks. So you've got the hoppers, chests, and then a composter, and then all the way up at the top I've opened it up to daylight. Light can actually travel all the way through, which keeps this pretty compact. But what this does is that at the start of every single day, a pulse is emitted from the daylight sensor, triggering a 1-tick pulse that is then extended by this comparator clock, which then untriggers this piston. Now what happens is that you feed seeds or organic material into the composter to create bone meal. Bone meal travels down and sits into this hopper, as you can see here. When the system is triggered, the redstone block will retract, allowing the bone meal to feed into this dropper, which will then spit them out into the fire and dispose of them. As you can see, there is a comparator that is reading everything inside this hopper. So the moment that this hopper is empty, the comparator turns off and turns off all of the redstone network underground. So located around the island, I have a bunch of stations, and I can't remember exactly. Okay, there we go. Okay, right, shift. I'm setting them all off now. No, stop. So underground, let's go into free cam, shall we? As you can see here, we've got a skulk sensor that when triggered will splash the nearest person with a poison potion, as you can see right here. There are multiple stations located around the island. I have one by the entrance, one here, I think another one over that path, and then right outside my pot. So what we should do is actually fill up our composter so that we have some bone meal in the system. Let's see how much bone meal these 9 stacks of seeds get us. Okay, and we're coming up to the final few seeds, and there we go. So let's just have a pop down and see how many we got. That gave us 28 altogether, which is a pretty good amount. I'm pretty sure the system removes 3 at the start of every single day. So that will give us what? I think about roughly 7 to 8 days worth of safety, I guess you could call it. But I think that's where we can call this one. I think this is another system that we can check off of the list. Okay, and before we move on to the final system, which was the daylight sunlight system, I actually want to improve my storage room. So throughout season 3 of HomeSMP, I've been living out of a small hole in the ground, which I've generously been calling my storage room. It started out as a tiny little bunker somewhere just to hide from the creepers and stash a few extra bits and bobs. However, over time, it's just kept expanding and expanding and expanding. Eventually, I kind of just slapped some signs on the chests and called it organized and kind of just moved on. But truthfully, I've never really been that happy with it. But today that changes. In the previous episode, we made a new ant friend whose name I will be revealing a little later, so stay tuned just in case I picked your suggestion. But anyway, I want to build him a proper home rather than just keeping him tied up here to the postbox. Okay, I mean, I'll be the first to admit I'm no expert on ants. An ant biologist? An antologist? Wait. A myricologist? Like I said, I'm no expert on ants, but according to my super smart... Dude, okay, I'm going to stand over here. Anyway, according to my super smart, incredible sources... An ant colony typically contains different chambers for specific purposes, like nurseries, food storage, and, well, a bunch of other things, but they don't really seem that important, and I doubt they're really that necessary to keep the delicate ecosystem of an ant nest alive. I want to create a bunch of tunnels underground to connect all across my island, starting from various little small surface holes dotted around my island that then burrow deep underground. One path will lead directly to mine and Sunraven's auto smelter, because ants obviously definitely use communal super smelters, but anyway. And then all the other tunnels will converge into a grand central chamber, which is where I'm going to build my brand new storage room. Now, this is okay, right? You're causing some trouble. Anyway, now this is a pretty optimistic project that requires quite a lot of digging, resource gathering, building, and worst of all, organizing. So I think it's about time that we dig in. Quite literally, I need to start digging. What are you looking at? Okay, and welcome back everybody. That was an insane amount of work. That took multiple months. I kind of spread it out across quite a few weeks just to kind of make sure I didn't have to do it all in one go. But should we go check out the storage room? We have one of our entrances over here at the edge of this plant, which I love, and I've kind of gradiented, added a gradient. And then also kind of made it look like roots, which I absolutely love. So you come down here, all of these tunnels are now textured. However, they are still not completely decorated, but they're textured at least. And then when you come down like this, I'm so happy with it, with the lighting, with all the little mushrooms. I just really wanted to go for that kind of underground tunnel with lots of dirt and then kind of mushrooms. A little bit of kind of foliage. I've used, the glowberries for some lighting as well as drip leaves. These little mushrooms for lights here with little jungle on top. Some little custom heads for some mushrooms and things as well. And then of course my storage, which I absolutely love. Yeah, there's so many hidden little things. I even used like cocoa beans. I thought they kind of looked like maybe wall mushrooms. Even some little ones over here with birch and sandstone. And then of course the kind of main feature, which is the glass fog floor, which I have never done one of these before, and I don't know why I'm going to be doing them all the time for every single base in the future, because I absolutely love this floor. I think it just adds such a cool impression. I'm also glad that I kind of carved out the edges as well to make it kind of look like it just kind of keeps going down. So we have one entrance over here, which was the first one that I did in the time lapse, which you can enter from just at the edge of this rock. So if I'm coming from the shopping district, I can fly straight in. And then the other one actually connects to our super smelter that I mentioned earlier. But I do realize that I've probably never shown you the super smelter on camera or explained it at all. So over in this rock, we have our communal super smelter that was a joint project between myself and Sunraven16. We decided to kind of build something underneath the water to connect our bases together. And I know I wanted to do the ant tunnels, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of start the texturing and everything. Her entrance actually comes through a pipe that actually leads all the way up to her base, which is very, very cool. So we're also going to add like a big battery here to actually kind of show off the super smelter itself, because if you hop into FreeCam and you go underground, you can see here we have this humongous yet extremely fragile and temperamental super smelter. Decided to actually decorate this place live on Twitch as a little co-op stream, so make sure to check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/APuzzledSlime, to make sure not to miss out on any of the kind of behind the scenes stuff, because I stream twice a week over there. So you can come through there, and actually if you follow this tunnel all the way through, it actually links back to the storage room this way. So I have multiple entrances and multiple views. One thing I did end up doing was over here, I ended up having to use so much packed mud that I actually built a packed mud machine over here. And for a future project, I'm going to need a lot of it. I built the mud making machine here, the typical one where you put the dirt in, a water bottle gets dispensed and turns it into mud. However, what I decided to do was also combine it with Happy Stunt's shovel maker from his snow farm. So this is an interesting machine by kind of combining them together. So I'm very happy with this, love this, and I can AFK it quite a lot. But I think we should bring our new friend down and finally give him a name. So let's go grab him, shall we? Hello, little buddy. You want to come see your new home? Yeah. So I did pick out a name for this little guy, and I had a look through all of your comments, and I absolutely adored all of the suggestions and all of the ant puns. However, I am going to go with It's Physics Jim's suggestion of Antonio Banderas, because I grew up having such a crush on him from the dad in Spy Kids, so I felt like it was only appropriate. So Antonio, you are now the head of the island. I found a couple extra kind of ants have now found their way onto the island, as you can see over here. So let's see if we can go grab them all and take them down into their ant tunnel. They even come with their own little backpacks. They're so cute. Look at them. Hello, buddy. You can even store stuff in them. Should we go find? I think I've seen a couple others. Let's go, shall we? Come on, Antonio. Let's go find your friends. Come on, everybody. Look, we found another friend. Keep up. Hey, buddy. Look at you. You got a backpack as well. Yeah, join the queue. You keeping up, Antonio? Single file now, everybody. Let's go. Welcome to the club. You gonna join the train? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go down this way. So if you ever need to have anything smelted, you just pop down here, and this is our little communal smelter. And then over here, look, we've got our central chamber where you guys can just hang out. I mean, you're free to explore the whole place, I guess. Welcome to your new home. I think it's the perfect little spot for a little ant colony. Okay, Antonio, off you go. Be a leader. Oh, look at them. They're making themselves at home already. They love it. Maybe I am an ant expert. Okay, anyway, this is actually probably the perfect time to show off our final system that will bring our island to life. So this actually involves this bed right here. So if we fly up and out, and I'll turn on full bright for you, and head just over here, there are a couple sneaky trapdoors that I have hidden around. Here we go. This is our sunlight measurer. That's the official name. Sunlight measurer. What this does is that this measures the nighttime, and if after a certain amount of time, it will have a randomized chance of either dropping a wooden shovel or a mushroom into this hopper. This is then measured by a comparator, which will only let out a signal if the wooden shovel goes up. What then happens, this goes through, turns on this copper bulb, which in turn, I'm going to have to hop into free cam here, will trigger, there is a set of pistons, which actually you can't see. There's 2 pistons here that will push these stone blocks over the top of our beacons. So let me simulate that, shall we? There we go. We can see the whole system has been triggered. And what happens is that now our beacon effects have been shut off and you can see them slowly ticking away. To reset this, we have to make sure that we sleep in a bed, and not just any bed. So if I hop down into free cam, this will be the easiest way to track this for you. I have a bed right here that actually has an observer underneath, and the observer will detect whether somebody sleeps in the bed, which will trigger this redstone torch chain all the way up, which will then push this block. This daylight sensor is what actually measures the daytime. So this is essentially a bit of like an AND gate. So it has to be daytime and I have to sleep in the bed in order for the signal to go through and turn off our pistons. Now this makes quite a fun mechanic because obviously I have to make sure I sleep within a certain amount of time. Otherwise there's a chance that my beacon effects could run out. But if I don't realize that and let the daytime roll around, I have to actually spend the full day without my beacon effects until nighttime so that I can interact with that bed again. I think it's a really fun system. We can actually go show now. And when we wake up in the morning, our beacon effect up at the top right should start to reactivate. There we go. So everything has now reset because it's the daytime and I slept in the bed, and now we have reset the system for another night. It's so much fun kind of building these kind of interactive systems into my Minecraft build to kind of keep things a little bit more entertaining for myself and keep me on my toes. But yeah, that is where I think we're going to end the episode today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had so much fun with all the building and the redstone and combining everything together. So I hope you've loved it just as much as I have. You enjoy it, Antonio? Nah, he's camera shy. It's fine. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and there is also a link down in the description to join my Discord where you can become a part of our Slimeling community. We have art competitions and lots of fun little discussions, so if you want to engage with the community, make sure to join my Discord. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is APuzzledSlime, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.